that I'm fucking useless and can't do shit because I couldn't open a jar of tomato sauce for my mom at 1 a.m. In my experience, divorced parents that say stuff like, "Don't talk about that to your other parent, tell your other parent, this your other parent, is trying to manipulate you. You see what other parent did. I'm not saying you should hate them, but isn't bit fucked up that they did that? It really screws with the kid's head. If you're ever going through a divorce and have children, please find a way to sort your shit with your former spouse without involving your children more than necessary." You wrecked my marriage. No. He went to jail for sexually abusing me for 7 years. Age 4 to 11. "We're moving and you're not welcome." This is what my dad said to me while blackout drunk, after he took my sister's pizza that I made, ate it in front of me, and then threw the pizza at me after I asked him why the fuck he's like that and walked away. We were supposed to be moving to a new place the next couple weeks after this fight. My dad made my mom choose between me or him when I was 15. He was angry I wouldn't give him my email password so he could change it and block me from having any friends after I changed schools. My mom without hesitation told me to leave. It was winter. I had no coat. I wandered around town, then slept under the stairs of the building they lived in. Eventually that night my father gave my mother permission to let me back in. I told them about this trauma when I was 25. They both screamed at me and called me a fucking liar while I cried. I'll never forget the trauma of my mother telling her child to leave and choosing her husband over an email password. So you're saying that I'm a bad parent in response to any form of help seeking of constructive criticism was the worst for me. If you're so depressed, why aren't you cutting? Cut deeper and kill yourself. She also forced me to sleep outside regularly. Dad let me in sometimes after midnight. She starts screaming and crying that she knows my dad and I are having an affair or he wouldn't have let me in. Oh, and ugly remarks about my appearance, how no one will ever love me or be friends with me. Which I guess she's right about that one. Constantly comparing you with your older siblings, and extremely different treatment. It makes you feel inferior to them and like no matter how much you try or do, it will never be enough. I have this, but with my younger siblings. Why can't you be as successful as them? You are supposed to set the example. You are so lazy they work 10x harder than you did, Dad. Maybe cause I had to start working at 15 cause you couldn't pay for school for 3 kids cause your ex-wife drank all the money away or gave it to her kid. Maybe if I had the time to do homework or study instead of working nights on a fake ID you provided, I would have had better grades and wouldn't have had to spend my entire adult life in retail or food. Edit. Thank you to all the kind replies. I feel for those of you in similar shitty situations and I wish you all the best and hope that you can find your way forward towards a better life. Do not let others diminish you. There is only one you and you are fantastic. I see lots of you can still study and only you can get out of retail. And you guys are 100% correct. Before COVID hit I was in a pretty bad place. My partner and I decided that after our wedding we will get me into a part-time program towards getting a degree in business management as I had spent a long time in management positions. When COVID hit all that went out the window. We were already living with my partner's parents. One has severe asthma and the other type 2 diabetes. I was forced to walk away from my job because they were not following any guidelines and I was worried about carrying it back to her parents. So we burned through all our savings and wedding money during the 8-month lockdown. During that time helped my partner's mother with her PC as she worked from home, somehow ending up becoming tech support to some of her other colleagues. Word got back to her boss and we had a Zoom meeting that turned into an interview. Turns out that he needed someone with stock management experience. I am now officially out of retail. Permanent contract in a fantastic 9-to-5 that I wouldn't trade the world for. So yeah, I finally got out of retail, and once my partner and I get our feet back under us, I will most likely go back to studying again. I have a good relationship with my brothers, not what it should be, but good nonetheless. My father is another story. I wish you'd commit suicide. My dad. I have a list. 1. I wish I aborted you. 2. I wish I put you up for adoption. 3. List all the bad things about dad and then immediately tell me I look forward/act just like him. 4. What did I do to deserve such a disrespectful child? Why couldn't I have a good one? I was not a bad kid at all, always home, cleaning the house, cooking for her, good grades, people pleaser, etc. She wonders why I never talked to her about big things happening in my life, why I put 5,000 miles in between us, and why I haven't returned home for almost 10 years. Edit. I am absolutely overwhelmed by all your lovely well wishes, and how many of you relate. In all that space I put between my mother and I and all the time I took, I created a lovely little life. I worked on myself so much and I am healing from the traumas I experienced. I so wish the same for everyone who relates. I am attempting to reply to every comment and wish you all something lovely and positive because you deserve it. If I miss yours, I still think you are lovely and wonderful and deserving of the best things life can offer. Edit #2. So many of us dealing with this. This wonderful book helped me and another Redditor jumpstart ourselves to healing and realization. Toxic Parents, Overcoming Their Hurtful Legacy and Reclaiming Your Life by Dr. Susan Forward. If you have a way to read this, please do, especially those of you who can't go to therapists who would recommend this to you.